I never thought that I was going to have a disabled child. They told me that the tracheostomy was an option from the moment she was born. I just remember thinking, like, this is my baby. This is my belly. This is what my life is now.
In the spring of 2015, Emma Yale graduated from Franklin High School. A few months later, she discovered that she was about to undergo a bigger transformation in her life. There was life growing inside her womb. Tell me, what was your reaction when you found that out?
Didn't believe it.
You didn't?
No. I was very nervous. You know, with all the speculation about young moms, teen parents, all of that, I was very hesitant and nervous.
With time and family support, nervousness was replaced by a feeling of happiness. On July 27, 2016, after her water broke, Emma was rushed to the Boston hospital.
Oh my gosh, let me tell you, I had this birth plan where I wanted to go in the bath, I wanted to walk around,
Yes.
I wanted to try everything besides pain meds, and as soon as I felt those contractions, nope, I was screaming for the meds. I needed the meds.
Into labor, Emma found that what she was going through was nothing like she had planned or had thought it would be.
About 6 hours in, they told me I wasn't dilating as I should have been.
Okay.
So they gave me Pitocin to speed up the labor. And then that's when her heart rate accelerated. She was staying at 190. That's when I got a fever. They tried everything they could to calm her down. They flipped me on my hands and knees. They were moving me from side to side. She just wasn't having it. So then they told me that they had me pushed twice, and then they told me that I needed to have a C-section done. She was born at 5:47 in the morning on July 28th, and straight from birth she was very stridorous, which was like the gasping for air. They let me kiss her once, and then she went to the nursery.
How was it to hold her first time? To give her that kiss?
I can't even describe it. It was very surreal. I just remember thinking, like, this is my baby. This is my belly. This is what my life is now.
Not long after Elena was born, she was then transferred to neonatal intensive care unit, NICU. Did you know what was going on? I mean, they're coming in to your room and they're telling you that there is something, something's wrong. But did you understand that information they were giving you?
I heard her.
Yes.
I heard the doctor, and I remember crying, but I don't think I fully processed what was happening.
Okay.
Until I saw her being transferred. Then it was like, then it really hit me. Like, I was overwhelmed with sadness and confusion, and it was just something I don't wish on anybody.
How did you get through that moment?
My mom was with me. My mom was holding my hand. I made James go with her. And she stayed by my side. And that was what I really needed. I needed my mom. I was a mom now, but I needed my mom.
Yes.
You had shared something that is, when I read it, it really touched me. And it is the truth. I could sense that this was the truth coming from your heart. Your daughter, you didn't get to take your daughter home.
Yeah.
You know, your daughter was in the hospital, and for 6 months, actually, she stayed there. And you shared this. You said that, I will admit that I was very envious of other parents who got to take their babies straight home with them. I avoided social media because it hurt to see other parents at home with their babies. But as I sit there thinking about my little girl and her journey, I realize how thankful I am that there is no need to be envious because she is all that I ever wanted.
How has your little girl helped you find the strength from all of this? How did you come to that realization, that peace?
When she got to the NICU, they were throwing all of these medical terms at me, and I was just really confused about everything that was happening. But all I knew was that I loved her. I loved her no matter what. I still carried her. I still felt her grow. I still made her. She's a part of me, and I wanted her to know that.
From when Elena was born, James and Emma were told that tracheotomy was an option for their little girl, but both of them needed some time to work in the information. After realizing that Elena's struggles weren't getting any better, it became evident that tracheotomy was no longer an option, but a must.
And when she was just getting sick so many times, and we had tried everything to help her, James and I finally just bit the bullet and said, this is what we need to do for her. It's not what we want to do. This is what she needs. And as parents, we needed to come to terms with that. I can remember walking around the hospital while she was in surgery, and it was fairly quick. But I just remember, like, I was very nervous to see her. I didn't want my feelings for her to change.
Yes.
And when I saw her, nothing changed. Absolutely nothing. I just thought how peaceful she looked. She didn't look like she was struggling anymore. She didn't look like she was unhappy. She wasn't crying. She was asleep, but she was very peaceful. She wasn't struggling. And it brought me to tears just because that's what I wanted for her all along. And it was very hard for me to accept that the tracheostomy was what was going to bring that to her. But once I did, it was the best thing I could have done for her.
As much as Emma wished to have her little girl home with her, the thought of it wasn't always easy. She was struggling with inner doubt, wondering if she was ready and if she could care for Elena outside the hospital.
The first couple of weeks was very hard.
In what way?
In the sense that I was so used to the hospital life. I thought that I couldn't do it. I thought that it was a mistake bringing her home, and then once I got into a routine with her, I realized that this is what I wanted. This is what we were working for.
Yes.
And ever since I had that realization moment, everything's been great. It's so nice having her home.
Yes.
It's a whole different world.
What kind of baby is she? Does she sleep well? Does she...
She sleeps all the time.
She sleeps all the time.
She sleeps right through the night. You know, regardless of all of her medical equipment, she's really easygoing. She's always happy. She loves rolling around the living room. Yeah. She loves her baths. She loves Sesame Street. She likes playing. She's just a normal baby.
Elena doesn't have clear diagnosis. She was born with dystonia, which is a very rare involuntary muscle disorder that only affects 1% of the population. The doctors haven't yet made it clear whether the trachea is a permanent or a temporary addition to Elena's body.
Hi. Are you going to smile for me? You look like you're going to sneeze. You want to dance?
Oh.
Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle.
You're really out of it.
I'm going to do it. So I'm doing this. I'm suctioning her. So her saliva doesn't drip down into her lungs. Are
you blowing bubbles? She's so smart. She'll like pull the catheter out. She'll roll on her belly, try to get away from me.
95.
Hi, monkey.
And how often do you have to do this?
Honestly, as much as she needs it, which is pretty often. You're gonna kick me? Here you go.
So does this mean that when she's sleeping, somebody has to watch her?
Not always. Sometimes we have a nurse at night. Otherwise, James and I will sleep in the room with her, and we wake up to her alarms going off if she needs some help.
Tell us, how is it like to be a parent with a child with a disability?
It's hard to accept, but once you fully accept it, it's honestly the best thing that could have happened to me. She was exactly what I needed.
Yes.
She has helped me not only as a parent, but helped me realize who I am.
What's the biggest lesson that you have taken from all of this?
That disabled people are people too. And you don't really think about it until you're as involved with somebody like Elena. I never thought that I was going to have a disabled child. But now that I do, it's just different. It's not anything I expected, but it's a whole other happiness that other people with normal children wouldn't experience.
Okay.
Oh, look how strong you are. Look at you, big girl. Look at you. Oh, good cough. Good cough.
Well, thank you so much. You are one brave young lady.
Thank you.
Wow. And your story, I'm sure, has touched many as much as it has touched me. Thank you. And I am looking forward to continue following your journey between you, your daughter, and your future husband. By all means, please continue sharing, because it's through your posts that we get to learn. Yeah. And we get to walk in this journey with you. Yes. So please let us in as much as you can.